Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good afternoon to you all, and it's a tremendous pleasure for me today to welcome His Excellency the Foreign Minister of Japan, Minister Hayashi. This is your first visit to Jordan in this capacity, and I'm glad that it comes so soon after our very successful engagement in Japan and the visit also the visit by His Majesty to Japan, which set a roadmap towards furthering our very strong cooperation and advancing our very solid relations. Today we had a chance to discuss steps that will be taken to implement the outcome of His Majesty's visit to Japan. We convened the fourth round of strategic dialogue between our two countries, and the future is very promising in terms of the cooperation that will continue to be moving forward towards. Today we discussed cooperation in the areas of energy, water, development as well. Japan has been a very solid partner for Jordan, and we're grateful for the support that Japan has continued to provide to our development process. We're also thankful to the very meaningful support that Japan provides to refugees and to UN organizations caring for refugees, whether to the Syrian refugees or to UNRWA. And I think next year Japan will mark 70 years of cooperation with UNRWA, and its support continues. So today we had an opportunity to discuss further in cooperation, as I said, in trade, in water, in energy, defense. Cooperation also has been witnessing a lot of progress to the benefit of the two countries. We continue our cooperation in our joint fight against terrorism, and Japan has been a key partner in the HAQEQA process, which, as you know, has been initiated by His Majesty as a forum that would allow all of us to pool our resources to fight this common threat. Today we also saw the signing or the exchange of minutes of agreement in two areas, and it was signed by His Excellency, my dear friend, the Foreign Minister, and the Minister of Planning and International Cooperation. The first includes the disbursements of the last tranche of the Japanese $300 million DPL. So today's agreement will allow for dispersing over $100 million to support the electricity sector. Also another agreement that would allow for supporting the water sector. And very soon we'll be discussing, hopefully, further cooperation, financial cooperation in that regard. So I think on the bilateral, I can very comfortably say that we're on the right track. The strong ties that we have continue to manifest themselves in actual practical cooperation, and we're looking forward to marking 70 years of excellent partnership and strong friendship next year together. We also had a chance to discuss regional and global issues. From my side, I discussed with His Excellency our efforts to stop the deterioration in the Palestinian occupied territories and to create political horizons to move forward towards reinvigorating a meaningful peace process to achieve just and lasting and comprehensive peace, whose only path is the two-state solution. We expressed alarm at the continued deterioration and urged complete halting of unilateral measures that undermine the viability of the two-state solution and therefore undermine the prospects for peace, which is a strategic choice for two of us. I briefed His Excellency on the outcome of the meetings His Majesty had in Egypt with President Sisi and President Abbas, and Jordan's continued efforts to bring the parties together over meaningful negotiations to move forward towards the just and lasting peace that we all deserve. I also briefed His Excellency on our collective efforts in the Arab League to solve the Syrian crisis. on the basis of the step-for-step approach and consistent with 2254. Ending the Syrian crisis and the suffering it has causing to our brethren in Syria is a priority for us, and I reaffirm to my colleague that Jordan will continue to work with our partners in the contact group and with the international community to reach a political solution that will end the Syrian crisis, again consistent with the 2254 on the step-for-step approach, and in a way that would lead to fulfilling the rights of the Syrian people, preserve Syria's unity, territorial integrity, and sovereignty. And we also discussed the issue of refugees, and we in Jordan continue to raise the alarm about the very negative consequences of the dwindling international funding to refugees and to UN organizations caring for them. So again, from his side, His Excellency raised the issue of challenges with North Korea and maritime safety and security, and I assured him that Jordan will continue to support every initiative that is based on international law and that will ensure maritime security. By the end of the day, respecting the UN Charter, respecting international rule-based law is something that is a matter of principle for Jordan. We value Japanese constructive role in that regard, and we trust that we will be working with Japan together to impress the need for further cooperation and multilateral cooperation that is based on international law and that will guarantee the security, safety, and prosperity for all. And the minister also raised the issue of the nuclear fuel and related issues. And again, we trust that Japan is working within the parameters of the IAEA, and I think we all support working within those international parameters that are agreed by all. So I want to thank you again, Your Excellency, for this wonderful visit. I want to thank you for your support and friendship, and I look forward to continuing working together to serve the interests of our two countries and also to contribute to regional and global stability and prosperity. And if you allow me just a few words in Arabic very, very quickly, and then I'll pass the floor to you. اليوم عقدت ومعالي الوزير الجولة الرابعة من الحوار الاستراتيجي بين بلدينا. هذا الحوار عكس التزام المملكة واليابان بالمضي في مسار التعاون الإيجابي البناء بيننا. تحدثنا في تعزيز التعاون في مجالات الطاقة، المياه، الاستثمار، وأيضا في مجالات الدفاع ومكافحة الإرهاب، واتفقنا على أننا ماضون في العمل ضمن هذا المسار من أجل تعزيز علاقات الصداقة بين البلدين. وكما تعلمون جلالة الملك كان زار اليابان في شهر نيسان من هذا العام، وثمرت تلك الزيارة مجموعة من الاتفاقيات على الخطوات التي سنقوم بها من أجل تعزيز التعاون، وبحثنا اليوم آليات المضي بهذه الخطوات بشكل عملي وبشكل فاعل. ووقع معالي وزيرة التخطيط أيضا على اتفاقيتان ستوفر اليابان وفقهما حوالي 100 مليون دولار، وهو الدفعة الثالثة من القرض التنموي الميسر الذي كنا اتفقنا واليابان عليه قبل سنوات، وأيضا قدمت دعم بما يزيد عن 6 ملايين دولار لدعم قطاع المياه. وكما قلت سنبدأ قريبا إن شاء الله البحث مع أصدقائنا في اليابان في تعاون مالي واقتصادي أوسع للمرحلة القادمة. في الشأن الإقليمي أثرت من جانبي القضية الفلسطينية أساسا، وهي كما تعلمون قضيتنا المركزية. وضعت معاليه في صورة الجهود التي يقوم بها الأردن من أجل وقف التدهور وإيجاد أفق سياسي حقيقي للتقدم نحو السلام العادل والشامل والدائم الذي لن يتحقق إلا عبر مسار الدولتين، وأكدت ضرورة وقف كل الإجراءات الأحادية التي تقوض حل الدولتين وبالتالي تقوض فرص تحقيق السلام العادل والشامل في المنطقة. ووضعت معاليها أيضا في صورة الجهود التي نقوم بها بالتعاون مع أشقائنا في العالم العربي في إطار مجموعة الاتصال مع سوريا، وأيضا التعاون مع المجتمع الدولي من أجل التوصل لحل سياسي ينهي الكارثة السورية وفق منهجية الخطوة مقابل الخطوة، وبما ينسجم مع القرار 2254 وبما يضمن تحقيق حق وطموحات الشعب السوري الشقيق، ويضمن وحدة سوريا وتماسكها وسيادتها واستقلاليتها. ونحن ماضون في هذه الجهود، لأن وقف هذه الأزمة وإنهاء ما تنتجه من معاناة للشعب السوري ومن أيضا تهديدات للأمن الإقليمي والدولي أولوية بالنسبة لنا. وتحدثنا أيضا حول موضوع اللاجئين، وأشرت إلى الخطر الذي نراه يتفاقم نتيجة تراجع الدعم الدولي للاجئين وتراجع هذا الدعم للدول المستضيفة للاجئين وللمنظمات الدولية المعنية باللاجئين. ومن جانبه طرح معالي الوزير التحديات التي يواجهونها مع كوريا الشمالية وفيما يتعلق بمبادرة اليابان لأمن المحيطات، وأكدت له أن الأردن ثابت في مواقفه فيما يتعلق في دعم القانون الدولي ودعم النظام الدولي المبني على القانون الدولي، ونحن نثق بأن اليابان تعمل ضمن هذه الأطر، ونحن في المملكة موقفنا ثابت في ضرورة احترام القانون الدولي وميثاق الأمم المتحدة وبناء العلاقات الإقليمية والدولية على أسس الاحترام المتبادل وبما يضمن الأمن والاستقرار والرخاء للجميع. فمرة ثانية أرحب بك معالي الوزير، وأشكرك على الحوار الإيجابي المثمر الذي أجريناه، وأتطلع إلى أن نستمر في العمل معا خدمة ليس فقط لمصالح بلدنا ولكن أيضا لأهدافنا المشتركة في تحقيق الأمن والسلام والاستقرار. أن تفضل الحديث لك.
Thank you, my friend, Minister Safdie, and I'm really delighted to visit the Jordan as the first destination of my tour in Middle East region this time. And I had a full discussion with Minister Safdie today, and we confirmed that our two countries were making steady progress in cooperation in the political, economic, and security areas based on our strategic partnership. The fact that the Minister Safdie and I meet frequently following our strategic dialogue in March and the visit of His Majesty King Abdullah II to Japan in April is a testament of the close relationship between Japan and Jordan. I would like to thank Mr. Safdie for his generous hospitality. And during the meeting, I welcomed the developments of a bilateral cooperation, including the increasingly active business interactions between private companies, as well as cooperation in the field of defense and security. I also stated that Japan would like to strengthen cooperation with Jordan in supporting refugees, as mentioned already by Minister Safdie. So Japan will continue our support for Jordan on its economic and financial reforms, as well as further modernization. And also international arena, as mentioned already by my friend Minister Safdie, we talked about in these issues in these areas, including Middle East, the Syria and other areas, and also in the Pacific, including North Korea and China. And also for under the background of a bilateral cooperation, we have just signed the exchange of notes for a concessional loan of approximately $100 million regarding electricity sector reform, as well as a grant of approximately $6.5 million regarding the stabilization of power supply. And I sincerely hope this assistance will contribute to the development of critical infrastructure of Jordan. And as mentioned by Minister Safdie, regarding the release of Alps treated water from Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, I explained to Minister Safdie that the release is being conducted in accordance with international standards and practices, and that Japan will continue to work closely with the IAEA. And I am grateful for the confidence and trust shown by Minister Safadi on Japan's effort for this matter. Japan will continue our support to Jordan for its economic and financial reform, as well as further modernization. I look forward to continuing our discussion at the dinner hosted by Minister Safadi. And I also look forward to having frank and candid discussions at the third Japan-Arab political dialogue to be held on September 5th in Cairo, and the Japan-Egypt-Jordan trilateral ministerial consultations, which I will hold for the first time with Minister Safadi and Minister Shukri of Egypt. So thank you very much.